Heavenly Manna, October 31st. The chosen text from Psalms 63, verses 3. Because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Explanation: those who have tasted of the Lord's grace, those who have come to realize his favor as better than life, and who have joyfully laid upon his altar every earthly good thing, and hope and ambition, rejoice to tell the good tidings to others. They rejoice to tell forth the praises of him who called them out of darkness into his marvelous light. The message is too good to keep. They not only to do not require to be hired to tell it, but they are willing that the telling of it and the enjoying of God's favor in connection with the telling shall cost them something, cost them trouble, cost them money, cost them the loss of earthly friendship, cost the straining, if not the breaking of some home ties, cost them the frown of the world and a Christianity. Reprint number 2852. Amen.
Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're cutting right to the heart of something pretty intense. Spiritual motivation, sacrifice.
Yeah, and we're drawing from Daily Heavenly Manna, specifically the entry for October 31st.
Right, and the core idea really jumps out at you. It's from Psalm 63.3. Because thy loving kindness or favor is better than life, my lips shall praise thee.
Better than life. I mean, that's an immense claim, isn't it?
It really is.
So our mission here, for you listening, is to try and grasp, what kind of profound realization someone needs to have to actually feel that God's favor is better than life itself.
And then what happens next? If you reach that point, what does the source say you're sort of compelled to do?
Exactly. What actions follow?
Well, the source is pretty clear. It says that if you've tasted of the Lord's grace, if you've had that realization, the prerequisite, really, then you must, and here's the key word, joyfully lay down everything, like every earthly good thing and hope and ambition.
Joyfully, not grudgingly. It's a willing surrender of, everything you probably valued before that moment.
Right.
And that drive, that internal push, is crucial. It shows it's not just, fulfilling an obligation, it's total compulsion.
Because the experience itself is just overwhelming.
Apparently so. The text says the message is too good to keep, so they feel driven. Nobody needs to hire them for this. They have to share the good tidings.
To praise the one who called them out of darkness into his marvelous light, as it puts it.
Exactly. They're actually eager, it seems, to pay whatever price is needed to tell that story.
Okay, so let's talk about that price, because this is where it gets, really interesting.
Yeah.
And pretty radical, I think.
It is. It's not just minor inconveniences we're talking about.
No, the source lists some specific heavy costs associated with sharing this message, with living out this realization.
Right. So yes, things like trouble and money are mentioned. That's maybe expected.
But it goes way beyond that, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It talks about the loss of earthly friendships. Think about that.
Losing your friends. And then it gets even closer to home. It mentions the straining, maybe even the breaking of some family ties.
Yeah, your home life potentially disrupted or even destroyed because of this conviction.
How do you square that, though?
Yeah.
The core motivation is supposed to be loving kindness, God's favor, but the result is, separation, losing connections. It sounds almost contradictory.
That's the tension, isn't it? If you truly value something as better than life, then logically everything else has to fall lower on the priority list. Life itself is the benchmark, and this favor surpasses it.
So conflicts are inevitable.
Seems like it. The source says you have to be ready to endure the frown of the world, which makes sense.
Sure, the outside world might not get it.
But then it adds the frown of churchianity.
Churchianity, that's a pointed term. So like established, maybe rigid institutional religion.
Precisely. Resistance not just from secular society, but potentially from the very religious structures you might expect support from.
Yeah.
Maybe they see this level of conviction as disruptive, judgmental even. So what's really fascinating, kind of the core point here, is that this motivation, this feeling that God's favor is better than life, is apparently so powerful that it makes these massive personal costs, including, losing friends, family strain, rejection from religious institutions. It makes all that seem like an acceptable price to pay, maybe even a welcome one in a strange way.
So for someone listening today, that might translate to what? Choosing this deep internal conviction over, say, climbing the ladder in a religious organization. Or risking the approval of your social circle.
Exactly, that kind of thing.
Right.
It forces a reevaluation of what truly matters most.
It really makes you think, if this realization compels people to willingly let go of core earthly ties, ambitions, relationships, what standard are they even using? What metric beyond life itself measures a value that could possibly compete with that divine favor?
And that's the provocative question, isn't it? That's the paradox we leave you, the listener, with. If you do want to dig into the original reflection in its full context, the source is reprint 2852.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.